Testing. 1, 2. Testing. Testing. 3, 4. Testing. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to Meyer Studio Sketch Club. We missed you guys so much that we had to come back. So, what you're going to see tonight is part of our ongoing course. It's a 3-month course that we're in the middle of right now, but we could pull little pieces of it and sketch. So tonight we are going to do a sketch club. It's going to be a portrait, but we're going to talk about the dark shape, and the dark shape as part of the structure of the painting. Okay, so we're really only interested in a dark shape, and we want to think about this as the first time we're going to encounter this over many times over the next many weeks. Okay, so we want to get the big shape kind of locked in our head and not get caught up in detail. So can you just remember one big shape? Well, that's what you need to remember. Okay, and I'm gonna try to show you all the information you need to take into account, and then how to forget about that. Start with a big flat shape and then adjust the shape so that all that information that we talked about at the beginning shows up in their simple shape. That should be easy enough, right? I'm Jason. This is Cindy.
Hello.
Did I forget anything, Mama?
No.
Nope. All right. So we got Claudia and Shakti and Aunt Gail. We're ready to go.
And Susan.
Susan.
Hello,
Hey,
Susan.
Miss Schaefer. Oh, Miss Schaefer survived the heat.
Oh.
Good to hear from you. All right, so we're going to switch cameras here. And again, we're going to be talking about the dark shape. Right, so you can see from just the dark shape and the edges of the dark shape, the entire painting is there. When I say the entire painting, I mean the image is there. Sure, there's some still things to work out, but you can solidly see what's going on. Well, this is what we're after, but we just don't want to copy the shape, right? We want to design it. So as you see, the shape fit right into the photograph. And that's our reference photo. Okay. So before we start, let's talk about a couple of things to remember. First, I want you to remember the simplicity of containing something. And then this becomes the leading corner. Because as we go back and back, we change sides. So the leading corner is here on our face, and then up here on her shoulder. And we're seeing back to the top of her head. So if she was a building, not saying you're a building, Ellie, but if she was a building, perspective would be something like that. So we've got to ask, are we seeing down on the shoulders? Well, yes, we are. All right, so these lines need to go up, across, and back. So we want to think in 3 dimensions as we do this. So this will be a big dark. We'll work across backwards. And then we've got this whole dark that runs up there. Okay, and that is the dark structure we're talking about. Then there's some other little dark there that kind of that we will focus on, but the structure of the painting is going to come from this big piece that most people will not even notice. Okay, but it is going to be the foundation of our painting. So there's a couple of things you might want to notice, because we want to try to pick up rhythms here too. We talked about the corner up here. That seems to fall right down on that shoulder there. So I like to pick that up. See what a soft, lazy triangle that is. We got a bit of a flat over here. Not too bad, but we do want to break that this way. So as big and simple as possible. All right, is everybody nice and confused now? So much to think about. So much to think about. Okay, but now let's just forget that and think about our dark shape. Well, it went up, over the shoulders, down, across, back up, and then through the throat and the cheek. It took on that gesture, and then the hair takes on this, and the background takes on that. So if you needed to simplify any more, you could just think of a straight line. Okay, so this is the piece that you're going to hang on to for months and months and months. And it just so happens this is the piece we're going to work out today as well. Okay, so let's take a look at this dark shape. How's everybody doing back there, Mama? Is Ellie here too?
Ellie's here.
Hey, Miss Ellie. Man, now the pressure is on. Oof. Now the pressure is on. But again, we want to leave room for discovery. Right? And so, remember the light shape? Wait. This is the deep dive of the dark shape. Why is he talking about a light shape? Well, what's the purpose of our dark shape? Well, it's to hold the light shape. So, the ironic thing about this is you can't put a dark mark down and only have a dark mark. The minute you put a dark down, you've also created a light. Right? So the minute there's any one thing, it automatically implies the other. Sunday night deep thought for you.
That was deep.
You okay?
I'm good.
Excellent. Don't want to hurt nobody.
No. We're hanging with you.
All right. And then so this becomes important because how fast and steep that is. So I want to leave room to find it. And, you know, she's she's not made of steel or wood. Right? And so get a little roundness. Right? So even these, don't drop them down flat, but let them have a little life to them. Right? Round is life. Maybe further out. This side as well. How far is that? Right? So hook this up with the bottom of the neck. Give me some rhythms. And I'll face it, go like that. You guys with me? Maybe, maybe not. Let's keep going. Let's keep going anyway. All right. Okay, and what's the important piece of this that it's holding? Well, the most important really is the face. It's the overall light shape and the face, and then what about the face? Well, ultimately it's going to be the eye. Right? So let's talk abstractly about what that is. So we talked about this dark here is simply one side of parentheses holding our light. Then we're going to have a dark in the hair back here, which is going to be the other side of the parentheses. So we've got it held. And then from here, what's the first thing we run into? Well, it's the eye. So there's an end to the eye, and it goes like that. And there's the end to this eye. And so we're held again. You see that? So within this hold, there's another hold. And then the end of the eye is also the beginning of the nose, which is ended down there. And we got the cheek ends, that's combined with the hair. Right? Pretty straightforward. Everybody's going, what? What just happened? So, what if all we had to do to tell people, hey, look here on my wall, was to put a frame around what we want them to look at? Well, this could be our first frame, right? And you could think about the eyebrow and the nose as our second frame. So we're boom, boom, and then the eye as the third frame. Right? Do you see that? Almost like click, 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 click. All right. You don't get that yet? Hey, I'm determined to show you guys that one way or the other, because once you can understand it that simply and abstractly, it just, I don't know, it just becomes a completely different game. Right? No longer is it kind of a chore and hard work, but you somehow get your freedom. Now, are we trying to find differences? No, we're trying to find a single shape, aren't we? You say so. Well, that's what I say. So can you think about this rather than, a lot of times people can only think in line until they've had a little experience. Can you think of this not so much as a line, but just a mass of material that we want to spread and pull and push like a single shape? Would that be easier? Is that a little simpler right there? Is that... I know, a lot of drawing skill, huh? Ooh, man, that's like almost a triangle, and you got a little knick-knack. Ooh, fancy. Not really, you can do this. You can do this. Right? And sometimes the proportions and everything aren't right, but you know how that becomes right? It becomes right with practice. You practice. Right? So look for enjoyment from this. Don't look for perfection. Okay? You're always going to be disappointment if you look for perfection. Right? Because that's some, I don't even know what that is. That's like some illusion on a mirage or something that's in a dream. Perfection. I don't know. Way too much pressure. But a dark shape? Heck yeah, let's throw down. Let's throw down. Let's have a good time. And look, and now this is a little dark shape that could do quite a bit. It could jig, it could jag, it could yin, it could yang. You know, just depending on the, you know, the ins and the outs, the ups and the downs. We doing okay? Not making you nervous, am I?
No, doing good.
Okay.
Claudia
Alright.
said she's gonna finish tomorrow, and love to us all.
Finish tomorrow. Come on, where you going?
You
She
got
probably
another one to do tomorrow, Claudia.
she's probably got a good dinner to go to or something. I'm jealous.
Maybe they're taking their new doggy on a walk.
Oh. All right. So right, and it's really not about finding more than this. It's just getting what we do more accurate. How can we say more with what we have? Right? You got nothing to type with? Well, spell it out with rocks on the beach. SOS, help. Something. But we got to do it. Okay, I'm getting a little fussy there. Getting a little fussy. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so this is one side. Look at that. That's all one single piece. Do you see that? This is where a strong painting comes from. Big, solid, simple pieces that you can have smaller pieces in light and color dance around and dance on. But without the structure of our big dark, well, our light just can't do and be all that it could be. I hope that makes sense. So we've got to take all that information about this leading corner and this and that, forward and backwards, and this form into that form, and simplify it down into literally a simple two-dimensional, well, or not so simple, two-dimensional shape. And what we want to do is learn how to say what we need to say with those shapes. It is a language. It's the language of love. Ooh, maybe I should have some dinner. Okay. All right, but all that'll be nice and quiet, but where is all of this focusing in on? Well, it's focusing in on this eye. Is that pretty? Heck, no it ain't. But is this about being pretty right now? Well, ultimately we want everything we do to be beautiful. But at this point, the first time we're encountering our dark shape, it's more about being finding. Right? Like, feels like that could be a little bit longer. So what if that was like that and that came down a little bit longer? Does that feel better? It feels like a more natural head. Ellie's probably feeling very relieved about that little move. Alright. Now let's see, is that going down a little far? Maybe. I do want to keep it going back that because of perspective. And this, we do want to feel this go up and over the collarbone. Right, and the hair goes up right through there. We want to come down. Look at that. Why don't we come through the corner? Did you guys see that little tricky thing? If we go, hey, let's play catch. Boom. Kind of sneaky, huh? And what if this right here, what if that aimed right towards the big finish? What if we could do it the way we wanted to? Haha. Well, that's why you're an artist. You can. You can. You're the mama and the papa. You give yourself permission. Okay, and we had the eyebrows up here. It's going to create all kinds of other darks. Dark and mysterious scenarios. Okay, a little bit of hair, but that darken the hair right there. Again, let it support that. And there's not that much of it. Let's try to keep just a little over here. Compared to the lot over there, rather than making them even and equal. This is feeling a little bit squeezed, but as we start to turn this, I think it will feel better. And that might be a little bit long there. There we go. Bo says hi to everybody. Then we could start to ask ourselves, all right, can we make this any better? Can we make this any better? Where's that going to point to the center there? It's going to come down. Back over. Well, yeah, how can we want to focus up around here, right? We want to focus around here. And again, I'm not concerned with doing a beautiful eye tonight. I'm more concerned with feeling the general gesture of that. And then feeling, did I get too much dark and not enough head? Did I get too much head and not enough dark? Is that moved over? I don't want to be concerned with these little darks right now. Right? We might even say, if you're concerned with those little bitty darks, that you're being petty. Right? Don't be petty. Let's consider the big pieces first. Then let's go to our smaller pieces. All right? Big to small. Big to small. I feel like we could... Something feels wrong about this to me, and I think it's this width. And sometimes when it's in 2 dimensions, before we put the 3rd dimension in, it will feel different. Okay, we've got hair coming down and interrupting here. That might be it too. All right, again, let's contain something. Hold it, just like, this is a lot like our tree silhouettes. Hard edge on both, whereas up here it's going to be hard edge outside, but we need to soften these interior edges, and we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. I didn't promise this will be 30 minutes, so. Ha! Ha! You guys are thinking about the old rules. No, we won't keep you too long, but, you know, this takes what it takes. It takes what it takes. Hair will run there, so once you have that eye got a little bit big. Okay, so to the point. You want to design this, draw this, make sure this is good. But what is the portrait about? What is the portrait about? Well, fundamentally, it's about form. And what makes form different than, say, something else? Well, it's going to have a hard edge. Right, we're going to end with a hard edge. And then this edge is an interior edge, and it's going to be soft. Now, even before I just do the mouth and everything, just as a big form, watch what happens as we soften up the interior edges and make sure the ending edges are sharp. Right? So this is all turning. That's a continuing form, continuing till it ends. Ends. All right, then we're going to continue, so that's soft until it ends. Right, running into the soft. So, again, not really worrying about the drawing at this point, just trying to understand this sequence. Oh, we got a little close. So what? Push it out. Right? The reason we work at charcoal is so that we can use it like oil paint. We can push and pull the substance. We can work in mass, not in line. But when I'm working in mass, I want to pay attention to it. Okay, is this hard edge? Or are we back into soft edge material? Soft edge up as we turn. And hard edge as we end. And then this would be soft edge. Right, and then as this turns around, this is going to be soft over here too, because it's a form, and the whole neck would be back a little bit in space. So we'll take a little bit of that light away. Right, how fast is this happening? So that's the big form. Well, we forgot this. All right. It's an interior edge. Right, so this, oops, that's not a finish. It's a turn. It's a tucking under. It's a turn. Right, we're turning around here, soft, turning around. Did that give the thing some form? Well, that came from the hard edge, soft edge, hard edge, soft edge. Softish. Softest. What would that word? What would that be? I need an ish or an ist in there or something. Ish. It's just throw some s's in there. We'll be fine. All right, but we're not going into air. That's for another thing. But how can we contain ourselves? Because it's so fun. Boom, do you see? Man, it almost just comes to life with almost nothing once you have your dark in there. Now, we've found the general shape of the dark. I want you to go ahead and start practicing, because this is an important skill to have, whether it's right or wrong, but go ahead and start, see if we can't even this dark out as kind of an even silhouette. If you can get darker and more even, it's going to make your image stronger.
He does pop more.
Right? Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. You did it pretty even too.
Why, thanks. I've been practicing. I know. I'm hard to be around. I am hard to be around.
What are you talking about?
Just never know what to expect.
No, that doesn't make you hard to be around.
What does it make?
Interesting.
Thank God you're more adventuresome than most people. Right, and so see, as we even that out, you think we need to change. Well, no, even it out. If there's some size problem, right, it should be obvious. Don't try to muck it up. Try to fix it. Okay, so we talked about getting in big, solid, flat structure, giving it soft edges. What's the last thing we're going to cover here? Well, just look, guys. Just look at the image and what do you see? You see everything. You see everything. Wait, what do you mean? Well, look at all these hard edges. Look. We're definitely not focused in here. So a big element of the dark shape is how we come off of it. All right, let's see. Did I see Barbara in there? Hey, Barbara. Good to see you. Good to see ya. So what we're going to do is let then that background air be shadowy around here too. And look how that's going to help focus your eye right in there. And then on this side we could let this be, let that hair kind of come to life there. I'd rather be so abrupt with that square up there. What if we just maybe put it in a little nicer context? Right? Wow, okay, now where are we looking? Boom. Right? Again, I don't want to get into our number 3 value. I just want to think about the dark shape. But this isn't, how is this part of the dark shape? It's a soft edge. A dark shape can have a hard and a soft edge. It can actually have multiple hard, soft, hard, soft, hard, soft, hard, soft edges. All right, so let's Just like we softened that edge and whoa, what did that do? Now we were softening some of these outside edges, and that's going to have a similar effect. Right? So again, we're not looking for detail here. It's just the release of the dark shape that we're after. And so instead of thinking about it as a bunch of other values, we're just thinking of, like if the dark shape was a note, how we're releasing from that note into our next note. Right, and we can hold them in the entire painting. We can push them down here a little bit by just making the release longer. Riverbank, but we're releasing a note. I mean, we're thinking Miles Davis, man, baby. Oh. Let that horn wail. Let it cry. Just a dark shape. Okay, I hope all of you guys caught a hold of this. Again, the purpose here isn't at this point for absolute accuracy. I really want to show you the power and what the dark shape does for the composition. Okay, so today we're studying the portrait dark shape. Tomorrow we're going to look at the landscape dark shape. And then I think that gives us the Tuesday evening, we'll look at the still life dark shape. Okay? And then next week when we move into some color mixing, we'll be mixing darks. Right? And so that we take the darks as a full block as we move through this. And we're going to study all of them before we start the painting. Then when we start the painting, boy, howdy, are we going to have a good time. Yeehaw! All right. What do you think, Mama? Is it ready to come back to us?
I think so.
You think so? Who's in charge of this show?
I was just admiring the drawing.
All right. Let's see how absolutely on thing. Should I even test that out? Well, let's see. Why not? Why not?
Ooh, yeah.
So we weren't too far off, right? For online and every live. Right, so big simplified. And man, look how exciting. We got this kind of trapped over here, which draws us back over. These interesting shapes are going to get us over here. This nice release out this way. Nice little hold right there. Man, the painting's ready to go. The painting and bow, both are ready to go.
So I got fancy. I did a little poll
Yeah? What was the poll?
asking who's coming back to sketch to learn tomorrow night. Definite yes or a hoping so.
Yeah? And how'd we do?
So far, looks like 50% yes.
Gotta talk up so people can hear you.
50% yes. Hit that little button.
All right. So that's it for the first go around for our dark shape on the portrait. And like I said, it's important that you sit down and do this. And it's because this is a method of working and a method of thinking in mass. And as Susan said in class the other day, once you start working, it kind of takes over and just, it's a completely different thing than drawing, right? You're pushing, it's much, much closer to sculpting than anything in line. All right, well, that's enough me going on about anything. Mama, we got anything else to go on about?
No, if you haven't already liked this video or
Oh, yeah.
subscribed to our channel, please hit that little red button in the bottom right corner. Helps us out a lot. Feel free to share. We'll be back again tomorrow night, like Jason said, for him to do the landscape dark shape at 7 o'clock. And then Tuesday, the still life dark shape. So share. And if you're not in the class and are are interested in the reference images, send us your email and we can get you the reference images, and we look forward to having you.
Thanks, everybody. It was fun being back. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye-bye.